Okay, thanks for joining us on part two of Maria Banga's story. And she was just telling us of the time when she actually just got married and had just moved back with her new husband to his home or to the town that you were going to live in as husband and wife. And the mother-in-law was in the picture now. Okay.
Okay, so
And you were not well.
yeah, I wasn't well, and so you can imagine both physically and emotionally, I was already becoming like really sick, and I was already putting on a lot of weight. On the contrary, when I'm stressed, I'm just putting on weight and stuff. And so I decided to go out to look for a job because I had a law degree. Although they didn't want me to do that, but I became a bit headstrong. So I got sort of a job in a law firm, and by this law firm, there was a restaurant. And so at lunchtime, I would go to this restaurant, and the restaurant manager, the owner, he took a liking in me, and he started offering me some free meals. And then we used to talk, and well, he was interested in my life, and I would talk to him, and he would tell me about his own life, and so we became friends. And then before I knew it, he said we should go to a hotel, and I was like, okay.
Because in English, there's something that's people say there's nothing like a free lunch.
Oh, sorry, like you can say that again.
So here you were. And also, you forgot to mention, Marie, that the law degree that you got,
Yeah.
you managed to get that when you had your son,
Yeah,
Alain.
when I
So
had my
yeah,
son.
you managed to
I
continue
had
with your
my son
studies and
in
finish.
2003, and then I had my degree in 2004. That was my matrice. I had a degree before having my son,
So
but
your
I got
masters.
postgraduate one year.
Okay. All right. Go on. So now you're this man, the
Yeah,
restaurant manager.
but when I went with him this one time, I thought I didn't feel so good. Of course, you can never feel good about cheating on your spouse. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that I should stop. I should go for confession. I shouldn't tell my husband. I mean, I should tell him that this thing isn't working, and I don't think this is what we want and everything. That was already like a year into the marriage, and everything. But I went for the confession. I didn't manage to tell him that very first time. I just felt to myself, well, you've confessed, it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
Yeah.
And so I tried, I'm a good cook. So I decided to be cooking a little bit more and doing a little bit of the kind of things I think he likes and everything. But my husband doesn't want to talk. So he would not even appreciate the food I cook. Sometimes he wouldn't even come back to eat the food. He used to really like spending a lot of time with his friends and family functions. Oh, he would attend all of them. I mean, both on my side and his side. And in Africa, we have family functions. I mean, somebody dies, somebody has a baby, somebody gets a new job, somebody loses his job. All everything, there are always occasions for a function. So he would attend all of those functions. Sometimes I would go along. Sometimes I would just be fed up and I wouldn't go. So yeah, that was how it happened the first time.
Yeah. And then after that, you did have several other affairs.
Yeah,
Again, one of them with a priest, or was it one or
yeah,
two of them with a priest?
yeah. No, no, one more with the priest. This time around, he was really a priest. It was not like he was in seminary. So
He was
it's
a
not like I
Catholic
didn't know
priest.
what I went to. He was a Catholic priest.
Yeah.
But before we got to that one, I got another job with a mobile telecommunications company. It's
Yeah.
called MTN.
Okay.
And so I was a legal consultant, and my job involved me going around the country to assess their transmission sites and
Okay.
look at the legal status. And there were a lot of issues. So I had to be traveling, and I used to be away for like a month in a row. And I would go a little bit around the country like that. And in one of these travels, I met the man. And well, you always meet the men, right? So I met one, and we became friends. And that same night, he came to my room,
Mm.
and that was that. But we never saw each other again. The
Okay.
relationship didn't pick up. But another time, I met another one, and she came, and then one time, it's so funny, Soila, but each time it's just like one time, and
Yeah.
that's that. But it doesn't mean that that wasn't an affair. That was
Yeah.
an adulterous relationship.
Yeah. If somebody asked you, um, why were you doing this? Why were you having affair after affair after affair? How would you, knowing, that you didn't want them as such, but what was making you do this kind of thing? Having
So
the affair and sleeping with different people.
I don't know about people with other addictions, but I think that it is something like an addiction.
Okay, in what
Maybe,
way?
because you, you 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 only feel guilty, you only feel terrible after you've done it.
Okay.
But when you even want to get into it, nothing matters anymore. You're just
Oh, I see what
happy
you mean. Okay.
that you're with somebody who is even going to kiss you, who is even going to flatter you, even tell you that he's happy to be with you, who is going to make love to you. I mean, who's going to talk with you, you know?
So it's the thrill of getting into that kind of situation,
Mm,
right? So you're
yeah,
excited about it. I think you even mentioned that in the book a few times, where you would look forward to this person calling you
yeah,
the moments before, and then after that it would be just,
yeah. I'll
for
be like,
yeah.
this is not what I want. I would rather have it from my husband. What
Hmm.
kind of thing is this? You know, what do I do now?
Yeah. Okay. So you went on, and then some of those affairs that you had turned out to be quite significant, especially with one of them, the street kid, like you call him in the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
book, and how that happened and who he turned out to be for you. Could you
Hmm.
tell us a little bit more about him? I think in the book you call him Alain.
Yeah, he's called Alan
Okay.
actually, like my son.
Yes.
And I call him Alan, my treasure.
Yes. Yeah.
And treasure, not because it's a treasure you will hold up as a trophy,
Yeah.
but treasure because it is something nobody, people will hardly expect to find, you
Mm-hmm.
know. For me, it's the street kids, many people will look at them like thieves and stuff and death and everything, you know. You don't even go near them because they could harm you. So I went near them, and that's what I found.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of them who can harm you. A lot of them are on drugs and everything. But frankly speaking, Sorila, I will tell you, I found one who wasn't on drugs. I found one who wasn't without a vision for his own life. I found one who had his own issues, but who had so much good intention. I found one who didn't care that I was 8 years older than him. I found one who didn't know what it meant to make love to a woman, but who was willing to try with me, you know, and learn. I found one who who cared so much about me to help me to lose the weight. I weighed 115 kilograms,
Okay.
Soila. I had issues. I mean, I had given up kind of on my life because I was so filthy
Mm-hmm.
that this boy really had so much good intention. He offered me a lot of gifts, Soila. I mean, it's kind of a thriller. People don't live this kind of thing every other day, and they don't even talk about it.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing, because there are many people who have affairs, both men and women. They will have affairs, but people won't talk about them, and they will not discuss them for obvious reasons. And I think most of the time it's probably because they're afraid of the repercussions, what people will say, what it
Yeah.
means, how they're going to lose out, how is it going to affect their marriage, and so on and so forth. But you are very, very, very honest and open about this side of your life. Was
Mm.
there a time that you actually felt shame, embarrassment, fear, or because now it seems like you're completely, it's in the past and that's where it is. I can talk about it now.
Yeah, so Rila, it's the truth sets free, frankly
Mm-hmm.
speaking. I felt ashamed and everything before I left my marriage and shortly after I left my marriage. And even when I left my marriage, you know, I went to Dubai and I went to meet this same Alan because I had helped him to go there
Okay.
because he was hoping to become a basketball player. So
Okay.
I thought that, well, that was the easiest place for me to send him to or to help him get to because it's not as complicated as coming to Europe, especially given that he didn't go to school,
Mm-hmm.
so you cannot really justify his getting a visa to go elsewhere, and
Yeah.
he didn't have a contract and everything. So I also wanted to leave, and for me, it was like going there to meet him, and with all what we discussed, it could be possible. So I felt bad. I didn't even get back to my family for like 6, 7 months when I left. So I wasn't talking to my kids. So you can imagine all of that.
Yes.
So I went through so much. So like I didn't go mad because I had this faith, and he also kind of encouraged me a lot.
Okay.
So
Is he in Dubai now?
I don't know where he is
Okay.
right now. It's been a year and a half or more since we are no more together and everything.
Yeah.
I don't really know where he is, but he wasn't in Dubai the last time we
Communicated.
met. He was in Tanzania, but he was looking forward to going to the US and
Okay.
continue with his life and career. So I don't know actually.
Okay.
We've lost touch, yeah. But what I'm saying is that I dealt with all my shame and pain and guilt and everything back at that time.
Yeah.
By the time I got back to my mother's house like a prodigal daughter, and by the time I got this visa to come to Brussels to study, I knew that if I want to really move on, I have to throw all of that out. And I thought the best way to do it would be to be 100% honest about it, to face whatever I face, both good and bad feedback. I mean, nothing kills you.
Yeah.
It can only make me stronger.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it can help some other people. And so that's what I did.
And there was that part about the adultery, and the infidelity that you had within your marriage, right? Which of course is already, for a lot of people, they'd be like, whoa, how could that happen? But there's this part also where, and I think you had a couple of comments on the divorcemagazine.co.uk about that part of your life. And I think a couple of people did bring in religion. Now, when I read your book, you do talk a lot about religion and confession and not in terms of the priest and the relationship, but just in general and your God and everything like that. But in the comments section in the divorcemagazine.co.uk, there's a part where you say you're not that religious. So, because you see what I mean, the contradiction between, yeah.
No, it's not contradiction. It's like a stage.
Okay.
Stages. I wrote that book in 2012.
Okay.
Although I published it in 2014. So in 2012, I was really that, I will not say religious, but I was, religious Christian or whatever. Okay. But by the time I finished writing the book, and of course, looking back at all of that, I really cannot put my head anywhere now. So I don't want to go back into that. I don't want to dwell. I don't want to talk about it because I'm not completely convinced about it anymore, or about anything that has got to do with religion or anything. So, especially institutionalized religion, I don't want to talk about it because I am not convinced. I cannot say I'm satisfied. I can't judge what people are doing about it. I don't know what is going on. But I have my faith, I believe in something in me. It can come from an outer spirit of God or whatever name anybody wants to give it. But that's that. But wanting to refer so much more into the Bible and all of those things, that's not me anymore.
Okay. All right. We're going to come back into part 3, where I would really like us to talk about the moment that you left your children behind.
Yeah.
Okay.